Hi, I'm Susan Knisely, and welcome to today's episode of iTravelNurse TV. Today we're going to talk about bill rates. What is a bill rate and how does that affect your take-home pay when you're on a travel nurse assignment, or even if you're doing agency staffing or registry staffing? Okay, so a bill rate, now here, this is a business term. A bill rate is a rate or an amount of money that a company bills to a hospital or to a facility like a long-term care facility or to a clinic or even to a doctor's office, to a nursing home. It's how much money they are billing for your services. So we have somebody that is doing this for you instead of us as nurses billing for our services. That's of course, if you've read a lot of nursing literature, that's always been debatable. But we have a company that is a third-party company that is sending a invoice, a amount of money deemed required in order for them to provide your services or any nurse's services to a facility. Okay, now that is based on a contract. So how it used to be many years ago when the industry first started is that different companies were able to negotiate different bill rates with a lot of these hospital systems. And to some degree, depending on the situation, a lot of it has to do with supply and demand, they can still do that. But what has been more common is for the hospital, especially if you got a big, large hospital system, is to set forth a bill rate, and it will be up to a specific company as to whether or not they want to accept that. Now why that is important is this. Now, if you cross-span and if you search different travel nurse companies, you will see that some companies have contracts with certain hospitals or hospital systems and other ones don't. Now, why is that? A big reason could be the fact that they couldn't agree on bill rates, and it wouldn't be cost effective for a company to place nurses there. That could be a big factor, and that's why you'll see a lot of the differences between companies and where they have travel assignments for you. So, but that is something that they do in the back end. But how that affects you is if you're looking for a specific place to go to, you might have to look for 2 or 3 or 4 different places, different companies, before you can find one that actually has a contract with the facility or the location that you're wanting to go. But mainly that has to do with money. Now, what you've got to keep in mind, nurses, is that travel nurse agencies, they want to make money. Their goal is money. They're not Florence Nightingale. They're not in to save the world. They're not in to save people's lives. They're in this to make money. So they are business people. So if it is not cost advantage, if there's not a cost advantage to them, or if it's not profitable for them, or if they don't see that it's going to be, some kind of financial advantage to them, then they are not going to get a contract with a hospital system. But it all depends on bill rates. So if, for example, hospital X has a bill rate of $100 and company A finds that acceptable, then a contract between the travel nurse company or the agency will exist. And that means that you can go and work at that hospital. If it doesn't exist because the hospital doesn't want to pay what the travel company wants, or the travel company doesn't like that bill rate, it's just not going to work. Okay, but bill rates and how much money a company is able to get out of a hospital system or a facility is ultimately going to affect your bottom line in the chain down the road. So understand bill rates. Bill rates are also determined by location. Bill rates could be higher in places in which there is a shortage of nurses or they have trouble getting nurses. It could have to do with the cost of living. Number of different factors can affect the bill rates, but keep in mind an agreement has to be made by a company, a travel nurse company or an agency, and a facility in order for that contract to occur, and then you cycle down from there. So that is bill rate, something that affects your pay. So that's today's episode of I Travel Nurse TV. Keep in mind, we are in the business of healthcare, and the business of healthcare is a totally different world. I'll see you next time.